It's no coincidence that the venture capital firms are located on Sand Hill Road right next door. Or that John Doe is always on campus, on Stanford, riding his Segway, meeting young people and forming these networks that allow these young leaders who have brilliant ideas to connect to sources of capital, to get mentors, to get board members, and to actually build the large-scale ventures that change the world. Now let me illustrate how a model and ALA works with one specific case.
My name is William Kampamba, and I'm from Malawi. And the economy of Malawi, most of them will depend on farming. Yeah, we depend on tobacco. I'm 20 years old now. My village, I've got 60 families, and my family, we are about 20. I was dropped out because my parents have no money to pay me a school fees, and a school fees is $80. We have enough wind in Malawi, and I was thinking, what can I do to use that wind so that we can have something? That's why I decided to read some books about the windmills. The first time I saw a windmill in the book, they just come up with the pictures, but they didn't say anything what you can do to build that windmill so that you can generate electricity or you can pump water.
You figured that out on your own?
Yeah, I figured out on my own. If this windmill is in this book, if I can try, maybe I can make money so that I can have electricity in home. The time I was set to build a windmill, I was 14 years. It took me about two months to build a first windmill. They couldn't believe that I'll make something to generate electricity. What makes people to start realizing that this thing is useful when you power a radio.
Was it music that was on the radio?
It was a local Malawian reggae music. And most of the people, they didn't know what I'm doing. They thought that maybe I'm going mad and maybe I'm crazy. And I didn't see any much support on the first time, but after I've built a little windmill, when some people start realize that, oh, maybe this is a useful thing, maybe we should help him. Yeah. I went to the library to attend the books, and the librarian asked me, oh, you have built the windmill using the knowledge from this book? And I said, yes. Oh, okay. I'll come to your home so that I can see. And the guys came with some journalists and write an article about the windmill.
looks like this.
I took a tractor fan.
Well, first off, when you see these enormous windmills, what are your first impressions?
From a photograph in a textbook, William built a windmill. This is a story that should be shouted from the rooftops.
My dream is to finish my education and in the future to start my own company about the windmills. Most of the people, they want technology about the internet technology, but they cannot use the internet technology without the electricity. That's what I'm planning to do, is to come up with the reliable electricity. Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do.
Now, I met William for the first time in June 2007, 4 years ago. At the time, we were selecting the first class for the African Leadership Academy. And I met him at a conference that TED, which some of you, or a lot of people in this room should probably know, had organized. They had organized a conference in Tanzania to bring together some of the innovators from Africa. And William his story had been picked up by bloggers, and it was the first time they'd ever got on a plane, and they flew him to Tanzania. When he got there, he could hardly speak English. You can see from this video. And we were selecting this first class of students, and we were looking for young, bright people and so on. So I thought initially, there's no way we can admit this person to the academy. He won't be able to do the work. But the more we thought about it, Chris and I realized that if this institution that we're developing to identify and transform Africa with the most innovative minds on the continent, if it's not for someone like William, then who is it for? So we decided to admit him anyway. He was 19 years old at the time. And we tested him academically. And because he'd been sitting at home for 6 years, we found out that he was in 4th grade. And most of the people we were bringing into the academy were in the 11th or 12th grade year. But we took him in anyway, got him re-enrolled in school, got him extra lessons and so on. A year later, he joined his peers at the academy. And in 3 years of working with him, he went from being in 4th grade to graduating in the 12th grade. And today, as we speak, he's about to finish his first year at Dartmouth. Stanford had wanted him, but Dartmouth got him first, unfortunately. During his time at the academy, he published a book, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, that went on to become a bestseller. It got to number 7 on Amazon.com's bestseller list in 2009. He has also managed to electrify several more homes in his village and has brought clean drinking water to 60 families in his community through the windmills that he's built that are pumping water out of the ground. He got connected through TED to folks like John Doe. And John Doe, who you all know from Kleiner Perkins, his latest interest is in alternative energy. And John Doe actually ended up putting in some money, investing in some of his projects in the village. He also got connected to Jeff Bezos, who was funding him, the Bezos family, to come to the academy. Now, you can imagine William was destined to be the village handyman. He would have sat in his village and wouldn't have really been able to contribute much to the development of Africa. He has identified a section in Malawi where by building 60 high-tech windmills, like the ones he saw when he came to Palm Springs, he can triple the national electricity supply of Malawi by doing that. Now you can just imagine, after he's graduated from Dartmouth, he's got a best-selling book, he's got networks with folks like John Doe and Jeff Bezos. If he says, I need to raise $60 million to build my 60 windmills to triple the national electricity supply of Malawi, he'll probably be able to do that. And so, What I've given you is an example of one leader that this system is helping to create in the energy space. But that same model works for leaders that we can create in the political arena, for the leaders who will address our challenges of climate change and the environment, for those who will build the large-scale businesses we need to create jobs, and those who will launch the innovative non-profits to bring clean drinking water, health care, and education to the masses in Africa. Thousands of leaders over the next decades who will provide that key missing ingredient for Africa: good leadership. So let me recap. In Africa, more than anywhere else in the world, leaders will make or break the future. And this is because we lack strong institutions. We have seen the impact that just one or two great leaders like William Kamkwamba and Lamido Sanusi can have on the continent. Imagine what the 6,000 leaders we hope to create through the African Leadership Academy over the next 50 years can do for Africa. And this, I believe, is the only way to make this century African century. Thank you.
You want to take us there? Or you want to